All right, so we're back this week with Hollow Man. The first thing I want to ask is, did he rape the girl? That's all I want to know. What do you think? Did he rape the
Oh,
girl?
he did rape the girl,
He
but
did
you
rape
didn't
the girl,
see he
but you
raped
don't
the
get to
girl.
see. Okay,
You don't get to
so
see it.
these are
They
the
had
things that
it.
you gotta
No,
put
they
together.
did put it in there. They had, well, they had it. Yeah, test
Really?
audience saw it.
Oh.
Yeah, the test audience saw it. But the thing is, the director didn't want to do it.
Oh, okay.
But let's just say that they did put it in there. Test audience because it happened so early in the movie, it made everybody not interested in this character
Oh,
at
so they
all.
took it out.
So
Okay.
they took it out because I was like, this could have been pretty twisted to see this, and then
It
they
is,
didn't have.
right?
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't like the movie that much. I mean, the movie's
Okay.
okay, but it's not the great. It most definitely is not the greatest for this director.
It's not because he did RoboCop and he did Total
Yeah,
Recall.
and he also did Starship Troopers, which some
He
people don't
did,
like,
yeah.
but I don't have a problem
You
with
know
it.
what? I think this was the last movie that Paul Verhoeven, right? That he did in Hollywood.
They say, yeah, this is his last Hollywood.
Because this was such a
But the
bomb, I
thing,
want
here's
to
the funny
say.
thing. Here's the thing, though. Why he didn't really want to do it.
Wait, I mean, he didn't want to do this movie?
He didn't want to do the rap scene, the rape scene. No, he didn't really.
Oh.
He did the movie. He didn't really want to do this movie either, and he's not happy that he did this movie. But he needed to do something because nothing was working for him. He
Oh.
needed a movie, so it happens to a lot of actors and directors.
And directors, right?
You
Yeah.
got to make a movie. You got to work,
You gotta work, yep, so he's gotta do
and
something.
he didn't work for 6 years after this movie. So,
At least, yeah, you know what? He
but
worked for
anyways,
6 years. Yeah, he
but
did foreign
before we get
films.
away from it, he didn't want the rape scene because he's like the guy's invisible.
Yeah.
So she's what you gonna do? It's gonna be rolling around. It's gonna be kind of like that joke he tells about Superman flying down. You don't see
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, you don't see nothing. So
But
basically, you
apparently,
just see a naked
but
chick.
apparently, it must have been pretty bad because
They cut it.
they axed. Oh, they cut it.
So,
They
like,
cut a lot of stuff out.
they did have test audiences, so there's probably a delete scene somewhere.
Yeah,
Probably
there's
not on the
probably a delete
internet.
scene. We don't know if we'll ever get to see it or not.
No,
But
probably not. But like,
there is something because there's something left of it.
because like even if they did it or not, it's not necessary to the film. It also makes that's why it made me ask the question like maybe he did, maybe he didn't do it. That's like
Yeah,
that
well, you don't really
deniability.
see it because he always automatically runs back to his apartment.
So do you think first of all, I want to say why is it that Kevin Bacon is so good at playing assholes? He is, right? He got that down.
No, he is. I can say that. I'll go
He
with that. He
also
is.
can play the very charming guy. Kevin Bacon is a well-around actor. Like whatever role we ever seen him in, right? He
Yeah,
nails it. He doesn't have to be the main character, which is
yeah.
ironic because
Yeah,
it
he
feels
does
like
play
he's the
that.
main character, but he's the antagonist.
Yeah,
It's
he is the main
Elizabeth Shue
character. I
is the
mean,
main character because
well, he is Hollow Man.
he is Hollow Man.
And it's
Yes.
not the thing is though, it's not because he's invisible. It's because he has no soul. The guy doesn't care about anybody.
Oh,
There's nothing to him.
that is
You know, that's the
yes.
whole thing about this guy.
That's so good.
He's just as fancy, as shiny as that, flashy as that Porsche he drives. But he doesn't know empathy for anybody.
So he's
I
like
mean, he's not
Doctor
even.
Strange before he
He's
got into an
He's
accident.
not even. Oh, he's not even near Doctor Strange, man. He's worse than Doctor Strange. Dude, this guy's closer to Sebastian Shaw, which
He
he
is
played.
very close to Sebastian Shaw, which
Which
is
is
also
funny.
named
Like,
Sebastian.
well, here's the funny thing. This movie was not supposed to be called Hollow Man originally.
What
They
was it
can't
called?
call it Invisible Man because it's not Invisible Man. It was. They thought it was originally called when they were writing the script. It was called The Incredible Doctor Nobody,
Really?
and his name was Doctor Noah Body.
Oh no, man! It's so interesting that you found that out.
They changed it while they're writing the script because they're like, dude, you can't keep. We're not keeping this.
No,
This
but
is ridiculous.
but I like the like what you said about Hollow Man though, because he's hollow inside, but not like physically, just as a
Yeah,
personality. That was
it's
really
just a
good.
personality. That's all it really is. I mean, because the funny thing is there's a book called Hollow Man. They bought
Yes.
the rights to the book, but the book's not based on this.
Not
They
on
just
this.
needed the title. They just needed the title, so they paid so they wouldn't have to get sued
So
later
it
on.
feels like kind
But
of
the
like
thing
a
is, this is based on Invisible Man though by H.G.
yeah,
Wells,
yep, by
which
H.G.
also
Wells.
wrote the Time Machine.
So in
Which have
thinking
you ever
this,
read the book Invisible Man?
no, I don't think I have.
It's
I've seen the
actually
movie.
the book is pretty good. Actually, I mean the book is in the whole book is about it's in the Invisible Man's head.
Yeah,
Tells him it's basically his writing his memoir in a way.
yeah, memoirs of yeah with
It-
Chevy Chase. I seen that movie.
well, don't be. Quit
But it's
quoting
not
all this
connected
other
to that. Yeah,
bull
yeah,
crap. Yeah, don't be quoting all this other crap with
yeah.
H.G.
Okay.
Wells. Okay, but it's basically him going nuts, going insane.
So I was going to ask you because they kind of show you that in this movie, like with the gorilla in the beginning scene, right? It makes me think
Yep.
like, is the gorilla going insane because she can't see anything, or is it because what made them invisible, like the chemical reactions and stuff? Because I couldn't quite
I think
understand that.
it's probably just not being able to see yourself.
Oh,
But see,
I
here's
could
the fun
see.
thing, because in a
I
way,
mean,
let's put it
literally,
this way. I wore my Ghostbuster suit, even though there's no ghost, but this is
right?
because this is Halloween.
Yes.
But the thing
Hollow
is,
Man, Halloween.
Halloween. But anyways, the thing is, though, Universal come out a long time ago with the Invisible Man.
Yeah, it did,
They
right?
made the
Okay.
Invisible Man, and it was part of their monster series.
Oh yes.
So this is sci-fi horror, but in a way, he's a monster. Consider him the monster.
He is the monster. Yeah.
Even though this is a Sony production.
Yeah, Columbia Pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And they did the special effects too, which is the special effects was considered pretty amazing.
It was pretty amazing
shows,
for this time.
because
Yeah.
you got to see the thing. It shows all his stuff. He slowly disappears. You see his veins. You see his skeleton disappear. All kinds of stuff.
That was pretty good. You know, it's weird. I was just thinking about Kevin Bacon, right? And so I watch a lot of movies with subtitles on. So when I watched this one, right, they didn't sub any of the cuss words. It's like when I'm watching the title, it's like watching a PG-13 version of this movie through the subtitle. It was really interesting when I saw that. I don't think I've ever seen a movie besides this one where they didn't translate it literally. I thought that was strange. And then we think of that, right? Kevin Bacon, I thought about comedian Jim Gaffigan. Like, what if Kevin Bacon and Jon Hamm was in a movie called Porky's? I just thought of that joke. It is so dumb. Like, I would like to see that. Because they're both very good actors, Jon Hamm and Kevin Bacon. Put them in a movie together, like, dude, let's make a sandwich.
Sandwich. No, that's not what Porky's was about.
No, it's not. It's not. But they need to make a different version of Porky's. Don't think it's a remake. It's a new movie. Just called Porky's because Bacon and Ham.
They could just call it Bacon and Ham.
Bacon and Ham, starring Kevin Bacon and Jon Hamm. But Kevin Bacon is, he can play any role.
Sandwich the movie. Underneath it said Bacon and
yes.
Ham.
And I haven't seen Elisabeth Shue in a long time. She's actually the main hero.
I'd say she is the main hero.
Yeah,
she's the hero in a way. I mean, it also has Thanos, so we can't forget that as a boyfriend.
Yeah, you got Thanos in it.
Thanos. Or John. Well, I would say Jonathan Hex, but a lot of people are like who?
Who is Jonathan Hex?
Jonathan Hex, the DC comic character.
Oh, yes, Hex, yes.
Did you see that movie, Hex?
I have not.
Jonah
Hex. Is it Jonathan Hex?
It's Jonah
Megan
Hex.
Fox is in it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I recognize one of the other actors.
It was
not
awesome.
too big of a name.
It really wasn't that awesome. It was kind of bad.
Yeah.
One day we'll get to it, maybe.
Well, I did. So when I was watching this, and I was thinking, like, man, why did I make Shane watch this? Is this your first time watching this?
Yes, this is my first time watching it. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why did you pick this one too?
I don't know. I think it's because
the
connection of
I kind of like the Frighteners a little bit better.
Oh, that's a good comparison. You like
this wasn't horrible. No, but I'm not going to go that. It's not horrible. This is not a horrible movie. I mean, if it's on, maybe you'll watch it. But I mean, I'm not going to go watch it again. Really. And like I said, I've seen this is the first time I've seen it, but I've seen bits and pieces of the movies throughout the years because it's been around since what 2000.
2000.
Yeah, so I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I mean, it kind of caught my interest, but. I mean, I guess what I saw didn't look all that awesome. And then watching this one, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a movie. It runs through the general. I mean, it's like a script. And like, I think even Paul Verhoeven said about this movie when he directed, he goes, anybody could direct it. You can't tell it's my work.
You can't. Yeah.
I mean, well, I can tell this is work. The only reason I can tell this works is because it shows titties. Because I mean, everything he does at least shows that. I mean, he's still stuck in that. Well, at least from the overseas. I mean, Europe, no big deal. In America, that's the 80s. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? They even show that, like, the animal doctor lady. Like, they show her tits first. Actually, she's the only one that has tits shown. Oh no,
which is actually supposed to be. Here's what bothered me about. Here's what bothered me about that scene. Okay, all that happened to her. She knew that wasn't a dream. Remember?
Oh, she thought it was a dream.
She gets fondled and what? Oh, she didn't think it was a dream. She knew it was happening. She just saw him run and jump on his bed too.
Ah.
In the real deal, they cut it from the deal. She actually mentions and talks to the two main characters
Oh,
about
really?
what happens.
Like Thanos and
But they
Elizabeth
cut
Shue?
it out. Yeah. Talks to
Man,
Thanos and Elisabeth
Elizabeth
Shue.
Shue.
Adventures of Big City. Anyways,
Wow.
also Marty. Also, you gotta remember that's Marty McFly's girlfriend.
Oh, yes. That is
He was in
Marty
two Back
McFly's
to the Future
girlfriend.
movies.
Oh, yeah, but we mentioned her as Marty McFly's girlfriend instead of Liz. Is it Liz? I can't remember her name now in Back to the Future.
Oh my God! What
Dang
kind of
it,
person
can't
are
you?
It's Elizabeth. I
Is it
thought it was
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth. Yeah, I
Ah,
think. Is it Elizabeth? I thought it was Elizabeth.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. How do we forget it's
I
Jennifer? Because he
don't
turns around and goes,
know.
Jennifer is alive. We are not nerds
I
enough.
wouldn't say we're nerds, right? We're more focused on the male characters because everybody talks about Doc Brown and Marty. No one refers to Jennifer or George
Jennifer.
McFly as much.
Oh well, whatever. Somebody else could have got that, but we didn't. Hey,
Hey, yeah, you're
when
right.
you get a
We didn't.
Ghostbuster uniform, then you can talk to me, okay?
Oh, okay.
A step off.
Man, I'm gonna get me a Ghostbuster uniform, and we don't even
No,
talk about
I'm
Ghostbusters.
surprised you haven't had one yet.
I haven't, because sometimes I forget.
Well, hey, let me put it this way: there's not a lot of opportunity to wear one of these. So before you go throw down a lot of money, I just want you to know that.
What about Halloween is coming soon?
Yeah, what am I gonna
October.
do? I'm a little old to be walking up down the street dressed like a ghost, but I
Man,
don't have any kids.
who
I
cares?
should have had some kids. Maybe I should rent somebody's kids
Or you could
just so I can take them trick or treating and look like
you
a
could show up
Ghostbuster.
to the door as a Ghostbuster, and then you'll be
No.
funny. They will probably say, "That's from Stranger Things." Man, you need to get out of here.
Get out of here. Give me what you got and let me get out of here.
Okay, so in this Hollow Man, right? They kind of created their own boogeyman.
Yeah, they did. They actually created them. I mean, because they took a guy that already decided he was a genius.
Well, I didn't think the story was bad in this sense, though. Like
The story's not
it's
really
created
bad.
for the military.
I mean,
and I'm thinking,
it was,
yeah, this
it's
is
a horror
awesome.
movie. Yeah, yeah, they did that, and they said they were surprised they even got the film in front of the Pentagon.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I read about that part too. Like they were able to shoot that Pentagon thing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But anyways, the movie wasn't bad. It had a good cast of actors.
It did.
And I mean, it was
like,
your typical horror movie. And at the end, the girl that the main killer's trying to kill, she survives, just like Scream.
just like it's just like a sci-fi
And
horror.
and her boyfriend didn't get killed either. Thanos didn't die.
Yeah, Thanos didn't die in
Almost
this
did.
one.
He almost did.
Yeah, you thought he would die,
But
right?
everybody else did.
Like,
And
I guess
they killed everybody.
this storyline is simple enough where he just killed off
It's simple.
everybody.
And plus they get stuck. You gotta think they all go down into this
Underground,
basement.
yeah.
Yeah, they go to this underground lab, a basement, and they can't get out unless they go through this special elevator.
Yep, and I can't believe
And
that he's
slowly-
the one who can control everybody's key cards because he's the lead guy in the
Yeah,
project.
well, he's the lead project guy, and plus he's a genius. We forget he's a genius, and he tells you he's a genius. He's all about being a genius.
Oh,
Plus, it's Kevin Bacon.
yeah, it's Kevin Bacon. He kills a dog in this movie.
He killed a dog. Yeah, they had to prove that. What was it? The ASC, whatever, the people that monitor animal stuff.
Oh,
it wasn't a real
ASPCA?
dog.
Oh yeah, it's
No,
not
that
a
wasn't
dog.
real
It's just
Which,
because that's
to
why they
me-
did the infrared thing.
Yeah, which to me, I'm like, why would you have thought he actually killed a dog?
Yeah, why would you?
Are you
think
that? Are you stupid? Are you that stupid?
I don't think Kevin Bacon would be cool. Hey, I'm not doing this
I don't
part.
think anybody would kill a dog. I mean, I
No.
know there's psychos out there, okay, but they're making a movie. They have tons of special effect props. I mean, let me put it this way: if you thought Kevin Bacon actually killed a dog in this movie, then they probably actually thought he turned invisible. I mean, they're probably that stupid. You know, I hate to tell them that wasn't real. Okay,
So
he had to wear several different colored suits. You know, body suits.
he actually
Even
was
context,
suppressing
yeah.
in the green screen too. Like he actually wore the green screen shoot.
They did the green, they did blue, they did black.
Yep.
For all the water sequences was black.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? So this is a horror movie, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
that's why they're doing Halloween or during the month of October. They
Yeah.
did follow one rule for the horror movie. The black
What's that?
person died first. So
I should have laughed, but that's funny.
no, because I was like,
I
did they
thought
just kill
that
the
too.
black
I
girl
did.
first?
I did. I thought that too.
Oh
I was
my,
like,
what the heck? But this is 2000s though. So they did follow that rule. I'm not. This is when I say rule,
but is it?
right?
Wait.
it's an
Is
unwritten rule.
that the rule?
No, it's an unwritten rule.
Oh,
They
is
make
it
fun of it
really?
in Scary Movie.
Oh, that's a scary movie. But isn't I thought the black person never gets killed in a horror movie?
No, the black person is the first to get killed. It's the
Okay,
first
well,
one. That's why the Wayans brothers make fun of it.
is that why everybody died at the first Scream?
Well, no, Scream was the one that
Scream
didn't
Two,
follow it.
Scream
Oh
Two,
yeah, they did
Scream
that too.
Two.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
Yeah,
when
that
Jada
makes
dies
sense.
and her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah.
So two black people were dying. This one is of course like when I saw that, like, oh, she's gonna die first, and then she did die. I think I saw this in a theater, right? I think me and my cousin went to
Oh,
see
okay.
this because of the director.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because who wouldn't, right? That's how they advertise
Yeah.
this movie.
Well, I was
Then
surprised
they
when I
call
saw
out
it. I,
Kevin Bacon.
when I first saw this when it came out when I was watching this. I didn't know who the director was, but when I was watching this for the first time, last week, I thought,
Oh,
wow, I can't
really?
believe that's. I thought, well, I know I'm going to get to see boobs in this movie. I mean, it's his trademark, okay?
It is. So I didn't even know that was his
I can't
trademark.
remember where he's from. He's from
He's not German.
Netherlands. I think he's no, he's not German. He's from the Netherlands, I
Oh,
think.
is he? Let me see. Let me see real quick. Let's see. Early life was born in Amsterdam.
See, the Netherlands. So
Yep.
if I'm ever taking a trip to Europe, I will make sure I stop by there.
Oh, he's still alive. He's 85.
Of course, he's alive. He made
What?
RoboCop.
Well, just because you make RoboCop doesn't mean you're alive.
It might be. Get that.
Oh,
He did Total Recall, so he's got that advanced
he
technology
directed
going.
Showgirls too.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
that was. I never saw it. I don't think it was a very good one.
It's not a very good, man. I saw that in the theater.
I bet you did.
I sure did.
Sure did. Shannon Elizabeth, here I come.
Yeah. No, not Shannon Elizabeth. Elizabeth Berkeley.
Oh, it's Elizabeth Berkley. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, they both showed their stuff, so
They both did. Yes. They're
they
very
both did.
proud. They should be very proud. Okay.
They should be very proud.
Because
Oh,
I think
I don't know.
one of them
I
is
don't know
like
that.
50 now.
I don't know if either one of them acts anymore.
You know what? I have no idea.
They should.
I think.
Oh, I think one does. I think Elizabeth Berkley still acts. I think she does. She's like a mom in the new Saved by the Bell.
Oh, she is.
I don't know. I think she is.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, I have
'Cause
no idea.
I know they got to know the new Saved by the Bell because they had other people talking about being on it. So I'm sure she does.
Because I know she was probably on the, when Jimmy Fallon, we put all the stuff in his talk show and such.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up real quick because we're not gonna stay on Hollow Man for long because it's not the best movie at all. I wouldn't even say ever. But you say you like this better than Frighteners.
No, I like the Frighteners better.
Oh, you like the Frighteners better, yeah.
Well, very close. They're very close. Let's put it this way. But this ranks in the middle of our movie deal. This is one this is a movie that we'll forget we watched and talked about.
Shoot, there's so many that we
because
did
that's
District
most
9.
movies.
I'm like, oh, we did talk about that.
Well, District 9 was a little bit better for a movie.
Oh, District 9 is way better. Oh, she isn't Saved by the Bell.
I wouldn't go way better, but it was better.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, that's the thing though. Horror movies is not really our genre, really. Either one of ours.
But then I could talk about the psychological thing. Like, obviously, we will never be able to experience this because
there is a nice thing about this movie because it did settle something between me and you about we're talking about.
Oh, the invisible thing. Yes.
You can't see through the eyelids. Well, I'm on board. You can see through your eyelids.
You can see through your eyelids. Oh, that's right. Because my son asked about like if an invisible person
problem,
is
I still have a problem with this.
So they won't be able to see anything because his skin's covering it.
Yeah, but if you could see through your eyelids, then you should be able to light should be able to shine through your body too, and you should be able to see everything he eats.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Yeah, because if complain about the lights.
Yeah, because if it's that way, then it's just a covering see-through, and it looks like a see-through. Then your eyelids should not be see-through.
Yeah,
but if your eyelids are see-through, then that means everything in you should be see-through. So any food or anything goes in your body should be
see-through.
Yep.
So let's talk about another subject. They talked about it in the movie. So you were given the opportunity to be Hollow Man, right? What would be one of the first things you do?
Well, I would be a very good person. Okay.
break a person.
I would not go break any morality laws whatsoever.
Yeah, whatever. Speak the truth. Say
Come on,
hypothetically, what would
you're
you
running
do?
around. You're already breaking the law because you're running around butt naked.
Naked,
Okay,
yeah. But
so
then no one
I
will
mean
see
nobody can
though.
see. I know, but still, your stuff is hanging and hitting everything.
But I would. But like that's the consciousness of it, right? Like I know I'm visible, but then I feel very uncomfortable naked. Like even though nobody can see me, but then I would probably like I would, you
Oh,
know me.
I promise you, I'd get used to it really quick.
Yeah, but then like you probably know me so well that I
But
would probably
it's
like
cold though. I bet you still get
it's
cold.
gotta be cold.
Way up
Because your
north,
top
it's gonna
body
be
temperature
cold.
don't change. Like
I
so
mean,
just
it
do
would have
this
been
in
a big
Texas
deal.
summer.
Yeah, it would be a big deal around here in Texas. It's been like 100-something
No, you
degrees. So
can't
you've
because
been all
like
right.
sometimes when humidity hits us, right? You go outside like, is this person just made of sweat? So you can see sweat. Well, no, the water's dripping on you. So can you see your own sweat? Like, can you see through
Yeah,
that?
but you got to think humidity though. Humidity getting all over you.
Yeah, so you can see it a little bit. So let's
Because
just say it's 70
you're gonna
degrees
have a
outside in
temperature.
Texas.
You're gonna have a temperature to you, so you're automatically gonna get
No, well,
water on you.
I was saying like you know me so well. I would probably mess with a lot of people like knocking their stuff over, like closing doors. Make people think like this is how the frighteners should make money. Use an actual person to think like, oh my god, there's a ghost in my house.
So what you're saying though, we could actually go haunt somebody without being dead.
We can. This is the only
I would.
way.
There's some people I'd haunt. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody.
You're probably liable to find spots where somebody just peed out.
Yeah, but I feel like you're talking in a way where like, okay, this guy pissed me off at 2 p.m., right? I'm gonna go at 4 p.m. when I'm invisible to mess with that person or something. Like once you're invisible, obviously they didn't show that going back, right? Until like not, I forgot how they make him become.
Well, let me put it this way: I'm not gonna go murder somebody in their swimming pool.
Oh no, not that. Yeah, I didn't think about murdering people either. Like they did try to set him on fire, but then it didn't catch his. How did they?
Well, that didn't make any
inside?
sense to me. They set him on fire. That should have burned him. That should have been burnt flesh, and he should have exposed all his flesh.
Yeah, his
That's the thing. He just kept coming back and back. I mean, being invisible didn't give you superpowers. It just made you see through. You know?
Yeah, it's like
and
he
they
was able
burned
to
his
pick
skin.
up that guy
So
from
that
the
means
pipe.
that means all his that should have been like all his underskin should have been showing. You know, and that hurts. Even if you're invisible.
It does hurt, right? But then you can't see the underskin anyway because you weren't able to see anything.
Yeah, you never could, but you know it burned off his top layer.
Yeah.
But maybe that had something to do with the chemical reaction that's in his skin. Oh. We'll let that go, okay? Yeah, it caused his skin to be different. Maybe it gave him thicker skin that way he doesn't freeze. Because I mean, he is running around naked in Washington D.C. and Washington D.C. gets cold, okay?
And you know what? They didn't ever talk about. No, everybody was wearing long sleeve and stuff, so it's got to be like fall weather. Yeah.
Yeah, except for that girl that was sitting in the office. I mean, she's just wearing a little sweater with nothing under.
Yeah, wearing a sweater with nothing underneath. She was very free out there. They just did that so they could.
That's the way it should be. But that's the way the world should be. But because who expects an invisible man to come along?
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't go watching people use the restroom either. Because you remember that lady? She goes, "I got to lock the door and put my goggles on when she goes to use the restroom," which she probably should because Kevin Bacon was a freak, man.
He is a freak, yo. It reminds me of the scene that like you've seen The Boys, right? The Boys season 1.
I've seen some of the. Yeah, I've seen I think I've seen the first 2 or 3 seasons of.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like they had that the guy had that impenetrable skin that he could turn invisible too.
And I remember the invisible guy. Yeah, he would, and then they put a bomb up his butt.
Yep, that was brilliant.
That's you got to do something to get those invisible people.
Yep, boom, and then he blows him up. That's awesome. So this is probably only the only movie that was I think Alfred Hitchcock did some. They shot this in chronological order of the script. Well, how we saw it was exactly how they did that.
Well, that's because he did a storyboard. He storyboarded 90% of this movie, and he didn't want to change his camera shots because it would have cost a lot of money.
Oh,
and it would have made a lot more time. Elisabeth Shue hurt herself, so they had to wait a couple months.
Yes, they had to have. Yep, they had herself.
So I mean, apparently he's a director that this is how you do it. We go here, 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 here. We're not gonna ad lib and run the money up or take another year to make a movie.
Wow, Yeah, I just thought it was strange that they were able to shoot it chronologically. But I thought that was because they shot a horror film and they didn't want the actors to know who died, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good, though.
I'm sure this is back in the days, though, when people didn't blab about everything, too.
Yeah, that was way before the internet.
And it didn't really matter if you knew who was going to die. I mean, you kind of had a feeling because, I mean, the movies, like I said, is like every other movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Elisabeth Shue was going to live. Now, you didn't know if Thanos was going to make it.
Yeah, because he was very in between, right? Like, I don't know if he's
he was hated. He was really hated. But Kevin Bacon didn't like him at all.
Josh Brolin? Really?
Yeah. No, not in real life.
In the movie.
We're not making up rumors for people to put on the internet. No, in the movie, remember? Because he's always, this guy runs with coattails. He's always playing second fiddle to me. He acts like he's nice to his face, but behind Josh Brolin's characters, he's like, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Even though he kind of needs this guy.
Yes. Yeah, because they were trying to figure out the science behind it all.
Yeah. Plus, we're talking about the lady, the neighbor that he's peeking on.
Yeah.
She was the first model for the video game. Used her as a model, the first model for Tomb Raider.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Tomb Raider's based on her.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. You know, it's probably back in that day because it's 2000. Tomb Raider came out in 99. Oh, probably around this time. PlayStation came out in 97, 98. I can't remember.
So she is.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I came across it. I was like, wow, because I never heard of her. She's still acting now.
Let me ask you something. Like the neighbor thing, right? Like they did that in Spider-Man. MJ lives across the street, like not across the street, right next to the house, right? Like I lived in New York. The places between the house. If I did this, I'm touching both houses. Literally, I'm touching both houses, right? Because my aunt lived in a place like that. Really, you look out the window, right? Like, let's just say I'm this person's dad or I'm MJ's dad. Like, this window, I can see Peter's place. Dude, we gotta shut this down. We gotta put a board or something. And the lady across the street, like, I'm gonna take off my shirt. It's gonna be poo. But she did close her blinds. I'm surprised that she didn't close her blinds before she took off her shirt. Like,
you know what? She really probably just didn't care. Because I mean. She looked at, she also looked at the mirror and said, she was English. Yeah, she looked at the mirror and she was like, look at me. Well, do I really have any problems with being naked? No.
She should be a woman.
Why? Because you couldn't see her then.
No, I mean, like, that's because you brought up the point, like, she doesn't have a problem being naked. Like, you and I are like,
she should be she should be called the visible woman.
The visible woman, yes.
Yeah, because she's like, I don't care if somebody sees me because I don't have anything to hide. You can see this stuff.
Man, dude, can you imagine we actually have that technology? Like, they give it to the armed forces. Like, you don't have to.
What if we had this technology somewhere? Wouldn't know. Couldn't see it.
Touche. So lame. You can see it. But it would drive a man in. Would you drive him insane after like maybe a day or two? Like, man, this sucks.
I don't know. If you're stuck somewhere with a whole bunch of those people prodding you, poking into you, and looking at you naked, get on the table naked, I'd be like, yeah, I deal with this, man.
Make me back invisible.
I'd be like, nope.
You know, it really Sebastian Caine, right? His name's Caine. It really bothered me, like, he's the one who's all for it, but now they can't reverse. He's all mad about it. Like, come on, you knew the risk when you did this.
Yeah. Well, he thought he couldn't do it, but
yeah, because what happened to the gorilla?
Yeah, but I was like, they told him, dude, you're not a gorilla.
Yeah.
And plus, your stuff, it turned out you're not as smart as you thought you were.
But one of the other things that I did like.
Here's another thing though. I want to say.
Okay.
Why didn't he try to work on a formula?
Yeah, he didn't, right? He's the one who worked on the formula first to reverse
he could still read, write, type, and everything else. He's stuck there all day long.
Yeah, he should be working on it. He just
instead of turning into a little pervert, he should start working on his own cure.
Yeah, work on his own thing.
But I mean, I could understand after a while. I mean, it should have started, but after a while, and maybe they did. Maybe they said it in the movie. We didn't see it. He started working because after he turns crazy, though, he couldn't fix it.
Because all he could think about is his condition.
Yeah, his condition. He wouldn't have been able to do nothing after that.
It would be so hard because
it eventually gets to the part. Yeah, because eventually gets to the point where he just wants to kill everybody.
He does. Just because he want to stay like this, he's power driven.
Yeah, he's predator and he's crazy. He's mad. He thinks everybody's out to get him and he's got to survive. So
Well, I was going to
survival mode
mention he
kicks
did
in.
say one smart thing though. Like he did mention why he didn't tell the military people about what phase they're in because once
Because
they
he
do
wants that
that,
control.
not only he wants control, but then he's right about the military though. Like once they give him that, like there's no point for them to need us anymore.
Yeah, but
You know?
eventually there's a point where he's got to give it to him,
Yeah.
or you don't do nothing.
He
I
just
mean, they're
want to
going
make
to
sure
take
they get that.
they're going to
grant
take it.
money.
He just wanted to extend it. Yeah, he just wanted to make sure he got to do it first.
Yeah.
Go, I know everything about
So he
it.
points out the thing, and we talk about the scientists. Like it's kind of like fantastic. We talked about like, hey, they don't talk about the scientists that created this. They talk about the people carrying out the invention. Like Neil Armstrong, he didn't create a rocket, but everybody know who Neil Armstrong is. But none of us know who were the one who made it possible.
He did do the dangerous part. They're like, they probably like, so y'all built a rocket and go to the moon. Are you 100% sure and go to the moon? And they're like, well, we think so. Do you want to get in this rocket and go to the moon? And they're like, no, let's go get somebody else. Let's go get some idiot. Let's get one of them jocks that used to pick on us in the football field, and we'll put him up there.
He's the one that's most qualified.
Yeah, he's the most
he is very confident.
He is the lab rat. We will put him on there.
That's true, yes.
And then after he got there, they're like, man, they got all the credit again.
So, yeah, when it succeeds, right? So isn't Sebastian Caine's character kind of like Norman Osborn? They have to be the test subject.
He's very like,
and then every time this happens, right, it never ends up well for them.
Yeah, well, they're trying to do a lot of this stuff, and it doesn't really happen that often. Or the scientist comes up with something that's so good nobody believes it's going to work, so he injects it in him, which actually is more of a movie thing than it is real life.
In real life, yeah.
I think only a handful of times had somebody actually injected themselves with a virus or something and fixed it. Because usually you'll die and then you can't fix it.
Yeah, was it Madame Curie or who? Like
no, Madame Curie did. Madame Curie didn't do that. Madame Curie though worked with radium, and she didn't know any better. That was a oops.
Oh, so he didn't.
I wish I would have known.
So
I wish I would have known.
I always come up with these, dumb social videos, right? Like the first time, like you said, like no scientist or no doctor try this on themselves. That's why they go to trials and stuff. And I was thinking like, hey, wouldn't it be funny to shoot videos about like, hey, the first time humans eat an orange, right? Because like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. Oh, dude, this is terrible. The inside is awesome. But
well, I mean, sometimes you got. I mean, there's a limit where you got to do certain things. But the problem is doing something that might end your life. I mean, then what are you going to do after that?
Well,
how are you going to fix it now?
So
how are you going to fix that?
One of the other things I thought about is like, hey, the first doctor they came up with the circumcision. Who did they test that on? Like, let's just say you and Dr. McCaslin, Dr. Shue, and I tell, hey, Shane, I came up with this way about the full sun. And then we all looked it up, right? Okay, this is cool. So can I try it on you?
You know what they said? We're going to go find a homeless man or a drunkard, and we'll try it on them.
Now we sound like a whole bunch of movies.
But let me put it this way, though. If me and you were a doctor and that came along way back in the day, I'd be like, why do you want to even touch a guy's? Why do you want to go cut on? Why do you want to cut on something?
We did this thing. We want to see it through.
I'm a scientist too, but I can think of a lot of other things I'd like to see her cut on.
In my mind, I'd be like, no, you get the hell away from me. I'm gonna sleep with one eye open for the rest of my life until someone is first in line.
Yeah. You know what though? If it had to be one of us, I'd hope one of us invented something to deaden it.
Because like you gotta think about it, like who was the first one to test this thing out? Like I don't know.
Well, the sad thing is it came along long before people came.
We got to do this for science. Remember Sebastian Caine.
You know, the sad thing is people came out with that when they only had rocks, I think, and sharp rocks and no anesthetic.
F away from me.
Yeah, no anesthetic or anything to clear the
You and I are not colleagues anymore. I'm moving to another country.
Yeah. I'm going to have them revoke your medical license immediately.
Just imagine they present this to the board like of the health professionals or whatever they call it. I can't remember now. They're like, oh, this sounds like a legitimate thing. Yeah, we cut off the nerve, the skin, snap, snip, cut, heal. Okay, it's all sound good in theory. So how do we carry this out?
Well,
I say we
first,
carry this on a baby first.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make sure that they are too young to ever remember it.
That's why all circumcisions are done when the child is born. You don't want to go through this when you're 3 and then above.
And then you get older and they're like, by the way, did you know?
Yeah, did you know it doesn't do anything?
You sure? You sure there's something else is supposed to be there? That's hard to believe.
See? So scientific thing, like we just say, don't be the first to do anything, don't be the first to prove anything. You gotta find test subject. That, when you say about the homeless thing, that's exactly what they did in Venom. And what is it, Daybreakers, right? We never seen that movie, but
I mean, in all the vampire movies, they usually go drink homeless people.
Yeah, homeless people. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it really happens, but I mean, homeless people do disappear.
So basically, they just do it to people who need the money. That's why medical grants are, they pay so well.
Maybe.
It's pretty messed up if you think about it. Like, there's got to be somebody like, hey, this person is the first one, so we want to give him like a round of applause.
That's why they usually use it. That's usually why they use animals first.
Yeah, but then animals, I agree with that. That's why I read a lot of stuff like they use rats. Weird. Like, it is weird, right? Because human DNA and like whatever animal they choose is not the same. Like,
it's not exactly the same, but there's a lot of similarities.
It is. But
the sad thing is rats are closer to us than a lot of animals.
Yeah, so rats are closer to us. I read about that too. But in the way that I'm thinking, like, let's just say, like, same scenario, you and I are doctors, like, okay, we solved the issue with the rat and the mice. But now we're ready for human testing. Now we had to do the same work over, but I guess since it's kind of similar, so the equation is already there, like the solution is already there, right? We just have to fix nits and pieces of it. Did I ever tell you that
Is you're really a daughter? No, you never told me that.
No. I just trying to finish my sentence. Butthole. So since you talked about like humans and we talked about humans and mice and rats are similar the same, right? So there's a group of scientists out there. They taught these mice or rats how to drive, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen this.
Yeah, you've seen this. Like, let me tell the story for the show anyway.
Okay.
And like 4 mice or rats, they teach them how to drive, just to test the stress level and anxiety level of so they can study the blood. Right? When a rat is driving by itself, it's fine. But they put these rats in a traffic situation, dude. All these rats are all stressed out from stuff. So I'm like, so they are kind of like humans. I'm like, then it makes me think like, who has the time to do this? Why are we teaching rats how to drive? It's kind of like a long time ago when I watched these study on chickens. Like, chickens, they communicate by making these calls. They would put a hawk around the chickens. They would record that noise, right? Play that recording for another chicken, and the chicken would duck. I'm like, why are we spending time on this? How is this crucial to our survival?
Here's the dumbest thing. Yeah, the dumbest thing would be teaching the rats to drive and then see what their stress levels are. Because I'm like, they already have guinea pigs for that. It's called a human race.
Yeah. We already
Anybody just pull somebody over and say, can I check your stress levels? And you will get
any
your
rush
answer.
hour. You could do that without teaching rats, like wasting valuable time and money.
Exactly, because people already know that they're getting stressed.
Yeah, everybody's just driving.
I mean, if they wanted to know that, they should have taught rats to drive in the early 1900s before we all started driving cars. Let's let the rats drive first and see if it's safe.
Yeah. Well, I want to get back to the movie. I want to talk about the thermal goggles. That was pretty cool, right?
The thermal goggles were but you see thermal goggles and so much stuff. I mean, it's not like anything new to me.
No,
but it makes perfect sense.
But it feel like
I mean,
how did they always like almost make the mistake? Like, oh no, it's me. Like, dude, I can see you with goggles on, right? And your ding dong is not swinging everywhere when I'm like, because you talk about he's naked, right? So that would be the thing I'm looking for. Like, okay, he's got pants on.
There's a big old giant hot spot down there.
Yeah, like hot spot down there. Like, dude,
actually, I liked it when they used the fire extinguishers. That made a lot of sense too.
Oh, that scene with Josh Brolin, right? They used the fire extinguishers.
They should run all the fire extinguishers. Yeah, just shh. Or when Elisabeth Shue, she makes the sprinklers. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, like why?
I mean, there is some good good special effects in the movie.
No, this is really good special effects. So we talk about that. Like,
very good special effects. It actually got nominated for an Academy Award, but lost out to Gladiator.
Oh, it went.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why they
yeah,
came
went
out
to
with
Gladiator.
Gladiator. Gladiator was better than this movie.
Gladiator was better in this movie, but that they weren't judging for the quality of the movie. They were judging for the quality of special
Yeah,
effects.
special effects.
But I mean, Gladiator had some pretty good special effects. You gotta think they didn't rebuild Rome; they just put it in a computer.
Yeah, they put it in the computer, and that's like most of what we see today now, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, they built a
I mean,
whole
shooting
dude and
on
made him disappear
location.
in a
What are you,
gorilla.
Christopher
So,
Nolan? Get the heck out of here! Shooting on location.
well, back then they're probably like, "Who's Christopher Nolan?"
Yeah, and oh yeah, at that time. But then it saves back then. It saves more money if you shoot on location. Now it's like it's probably a lot cheaper to do everything digital. Like you and I can do like a very cheap version of like digital stuff. If we can create
Yeah.
it at home.
Well, I think because of so much work has been done in the digital deal, they already have
The world creative,
like
probably.
digital sets, digital stuff that they can work on and stuff.
Mm.
I mean, they're building. I'm sure they're building on top of stuff that's already been built.
Oh
Because
yeah,
remember
like
when
the
they used to
set.
do digital? Yeah, when they used to do digital, it take. I mean, they'd be working on like even like for a lot of Marvel stuff, they
Mm-hmm.
had to start early. It may take them 2 years to do digital stuff to put in a Marvel movie, or
Oh yeah.
did. It doesn't now because I mean, look at Star Wars. We're watching Star Wars on TV
Well,
now.
it's nice they have Star Wars on TV, and like even South Park did that. Before they were just using those things, it took them forever
Yep.
to make an episode.
Yep.
Now with like computer, like dude, we do the whole episode in 2 days. Recording the voices take longer than us doing the digital,
Yeah.
episode. Yeah, the
Yeah. I mean,
recording takes a long time.
computers are sped up a lot of things, and I think they also made movie making more affordable.
Yeah, it makes it more
Even
affordable.
though when you see them say, "Oh, this movie cost us," even movies they're making now still cost them a fortune. But
I
that's
wonder
because
how
people cost.
long it took the
That's because
rendering.
people cost so much.
Yeah, people cost so much. You know, remember when Toy Story came out? It states like it took like a year and a half to render the movie because it takes so long for the process to
Yeah.
render the 3D. And now it's like we could make
Yeah,
Toy
but you
Story
also got.
over and
But you
over
also
again.
remember when you watch the credits on a lot of those early movies with that the credits
Oh,
took forever.
yeah,
I
because
mean,
there's
it's
so many people
but it
working
still
on
does
it.
on Marvel movies. It's just
Yeah.
like man, credits is almost longer than the movie.
And I'm surprised this one didn't take so long because like it was just one guy in a green suit, which is amazingly Kevin Bacon showed
But
up
they
for the
did
role.
have to build all the veins, the skeleton, all that.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
know,
to the body. Yep.
I think all that had to be built. So
No, sometimes it's really hard to watch like a movie from 2000, right? Like this one, and then judge like, oh, for back in this time, the special effects was really good. The Frightener special effects was really good back in like 90, 98,
yeah,
96.
yeah, it looks like the yeah the image quality is not. I mean, a lot of these movies they didn't care about, so they didn't take care of and they didn't upgrade them. Because a lot of
No,
movies been
they
because we're
depend on
used to
that
watch.
lower
Yeah,
technology to make it look better.
we're used to watching movies in another quality,
Man,
quality.
like,
So
phew, it's so hard to judge that movie. Like these movies by today's standard. Like today is still okay. I feel like I'm watching a TV movie now, right? Because they can't spend so much. Like it feels like I'm watching an episode of Smallville because the special effects is not where it is today.
yeah,
I bet you like Star Wars and like Marvel shows like wow, this looked like cinematic adventure. Like whatever they spent on the movie, they was able to put on a TV show.
yeah,
Without
right.
like
To a
without that
point.
kind of like high budgeting. Well, they probably make budgeting through marketing anyways, but like however
Yeah.
they do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, well, since we're talking about the topic of Hollow Man, have you ever seen Memoirs of the Invisible Man with Chevy Chase? Is it Chevy
I did
Chase?
not.
But
Yeah,
that's that one's based on H.G. Wells, right?
I don't know if that really is. No, well, it's got Chevy Chase, so it's a comedy.
Oh,
It's
that
not
wasn't
really
a comedy.
serious. Really? It's
Yeah,
gotta be a
I
comedy.
remember watching this Memoirs.
Well, look it up. Tell me what it is. I would think it would. Why would it have been a live action? I know. I
Let's
watched the
see.
original. I watched the Universal Invisible Man. Not really based on the book that much.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, and then he
Chevy
shows up.
Chase.
I think then they have a show where he shows up with the werewolf.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I can't remember. Was it a comedy?
I don't think
Oh,
it
it's a
was.
sci-fi romance.
Okay, yeah. It's
Oh,
sort of
comedy drama film.
yeah, see,
Oh, Daryl Hannah was in this.
I think I've only seen like bits and pieces. I never watched it.
I I remember seeing
And
this
I
on
was really young
cable.
too when it came out, so I probably wouldn't have watched it. I wouldn't have cared.
1992.
When?
1992. It didn't do well at the box office
Come
at
out in
all.
1992.
Yeah,
Huh.
1992.
Yeah. Then I was old enough to see it, and I didn't care.
Yeah, so this is not based on the.
But it's a
Let's see.
romance movie. Why would I watch that?
It's sci. It's comedy drama.
Oh
It's directed by
yeah.
John Carpenter.
Oh cool. Nope, never saw it. I wonder if I should.
Huh? I'm looking at like loose. Oh,
I
it's
never,
loosely based on
but
Memoirs
I
of
never.
Invisible
But
Man.
plus, I never even saw Fletcher Live. So,
Yeah, me neither. Oh, yeah, John Carpenter.
huh? That's strange. It being John Carpenter.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a Chevy Chase type of comedy.
Oh, okay. Well,
They
more
just use him
serious.
for the
But
comedic parts they need probably for this movie.
I don't know. You'll have to watch it and tell me.
What's that? What's that Invisible Man movie based on the H.G.Wells novel?
I think there is, but it came out what recently?
Oh,
I didn't see
recently.
it.
I see. Look, I'm looking at Invisible Man film series. Oh, this is old. This is
But you know that they tried. They made a Hollow Man too.
yeah with Christian Slater. It's direct to video.
So Christian Slater's actually your poor man Kevin Bacon. He
So,
is. I like Christian Slater, but he is. They go, oh, can't get Kevin Bacon, get
well,
Christian Slater.
I read about that, and Hollow Man 2 is actually more closer to the original script that this movie was.
Oh, so basically it's a remake.
I don't know.
I mean, come on, everybody get killed.
You
So what
can't
they
call
do?
that a remake, right? Like, hey, the first script didn't
Reboot.
work. They rewrote it. Now they're reshooting what they wanted to shot the first time.
And the second one was worse than the first one. Is what I've
Oh,
heard.
I have no
don't
idea.
know. I know it didn't make as much money. So
So when things go direct to video, do they just count on VHS sales?
they hope you buy it.
But it's kind of like Disney, right? Like, no, a lot of Disney sequel, like Little Mermaid 2, Lion King 2, those are direct to video. But then I guess it made so much money, they were able to have even third ones because obviously that's why they make a third one because the second one did so well.
They don't have to pay for near as much advertising and stuff.
They don't have to pay for advertising. They don't have to pay for distribution.
A lot of people already know the name, so they go up and buy it. So it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. It's just
no,
like,
you're
we're gonna
right.
make
With my
money
kids,
on
they
it.
don't care if it comes out in the theater. They just want to see like, whoa, there's another one. I want to see it, and that's how we grow up. Oh, there's a sequel. I want to see it.
Yeah, you want to see it.
There's a Rocky 2.
Let me tell you, if it didn't make it to the theater, it wasn't good.
That is true.
Well, they know it's not good.
I mean, like, have we ever seen a movie that was direct to video that was like, oh, this movie is so good, it didn't get a digital release?
If it goes to the theater, they go, the theater fees and the advertising for the theater is going to cost us more than this movie.
Yeah, a movie over my made. So we could.
But if we just go ahead and take it out there and sell it,
yeah,
and we hope for the best,
and pay, depend on the name.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Rocky was good, right? And then if Rocky 2 never made into theaters, there would have been an awesome movie still. It's kind of like the Expendables. That's another one. That's another Expendables 4.
Really?
Yeah. This time it's rated R.
But I didn't know what number it was.
It's the fourth one. So, they did the thing where they put the 4 in the like the E or the A.
That's okay. You know why? Because I already thought they made 4. I honestly did. But it's like Fast and Furious. I don't really know where they're at either.
10? It's the X or it's a 10?
But they split it in 2, so.
Oh, did they split it in 2?
Yeah, so there's like.
That's right. It's part 1.
X.
Yeah, part 1 and part 2.
Fast and Furious X, which to me is actually it's 10 and 11, dude.
No. So Kill Bill is 1 movie, not 2.
But they split it, so it's now.
They split it.
The
people who distribution they didn't want to show a 4-hour movie, so they want to make the money twice.
Well, that's good. You know what? Because I don't want to sit there and watch a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, but we'll binge watch a
6 episode was
show.
long enough.
Was the 10 Commandments 4-hour movie?
Oh, but it's a very long movie, dude.
But we'll binge watch a show that's 8 episodes long, an hour each. I'll binge watch that. It's like watching an 8-hour movie.
Well, that's because I after each episode I'm gonna stop, but I never do.
It's so funny that thought process is out there, right? And sometimes I think like, can I treat a movie like that? Like, this is where I find my stopping point.
Yeah, but let me put it about this way: you can actually stop, go get something, and come back and sit down and start watching it.
For the movie?
Me, once a movie's going, no, not a movie. I can't stop. Once a movie's going, I don't get up.
So yeah, I didn't like to do that before either. So when my life changed with kids, right, I had to do that, and I didn't like to do that before either. Like,
well, maybe I should get kids so that everything's an episode to me.
Yes, everything is an episode. Shoot, even a full episode is mini episodes to us sometimes too. But me and Heather, yeah.
It's like, this show was only got to be 30 minutes, but it took us 2
We
days
were
to
watching
watch it.
Narcos, and every episode is like 40 minutes, 50 minutes long, right? It would take us 3 separate days to watch one episode sometimes. Oh, and what was the other one? Ozarks. But it depends on how captivating that show is. Like, once the kids are asleep, like, hey, come on, we gotta continue watching this show. Let's watch another episode. But Narcos and Ozark is really good. So anybody who haven't seen those shows that listen to this point, watch those shows.
Yeah,
they don't take you very long.
Because Lamb will tell you about it.
Ozark is good.
Yeah, might as well while you're out there watch that Ted Lasso too.
Ted Lasso is great. Ted Lasso is
never
for people.
I never get enough hearing about Ted Lasso.
It's
never seen it.
You don't even have to like the sport. It's not really about the sport. Oh, it's so good.
That's good.
I'm not even sure Jason Sudeikis know how to play soccer, but he did a show about.
Well, most Americans don't.
No, they know about football. I like that he's from Kansas, right? So he's a huge Chiefs fan. When he's talking about he was talking about the Denver Broncos in the show, right? He even used that like he's a Denver Broncos fan. Why is he living in Kansas? But yes. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna call it quits on Hollow Man, and then maybe next week we'll do another better movie for Halloween. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.